Greetings everybody and welcome to Madrid Ball. I hope you all are doing good. Real Madrid have emerged victorious in the final match of the 2021 calendar year. It was a very tough game with all the high profile names that were missing. Athletic made things uncomfortable for the Los Blancos, but Real Madrid were competent enough to weather the storm. They were able to deal with the Athletic attacks in the second half, and to an extent we have to thank Thibaut Courtois as well. But seeing the depleted squad we had, seeing that we were missing some big time players, you would take this victory. It wasn't pretty at times, we had some good moments, we also had some bad moments, but at the end of the night what matters the most is that we were able to stretch our lead at the top of the table. We entered the Christmas break being 8 points clear at the top. The draw between Barcelona and Sevilla was at the back of the minds of the players. The draw between the two well-recognized teams worked in favour of Madrid, and all that was needed to be done was to capitalise on the situation. So we have placed ourselves in a commanding position with an unbeaten run of 15 games, and let's hope the good times continue for the Los Blancos and we keep stretching our lead at the top as the season progresses. So in this video, we'll do the post-match analysis of Athletic Bilbao versus Real Madrid. We'll go through the important happenings of the game, and without further ado, let's get started. And firstly, if we have a look at the lineup, there was Courtois in goal. In the back four, we had Nacho, Militao, Mendy, and Lucas Vázquez. In the midfield, we had Cruz, Camavinga, and Valverde. And finally in attack, we had Hazard, Vinicius, and Karim Benzema. And before doing the analysis, let's quickly do the shout-out. We have a few notable mentions, but our ultimate winner today is Mr. Ibrahima Badier, and I congratulate you for getting the scoreline correct. And now if we shed some thoughts on the lineup that Ancelotti fielded, we all had many questions about what setup Ancelotti was going to use. What formation was he going to use without Casemiro? We questioned whether Ancelotti would deviate from the 4-3-3 to get the best out of Hazard, and as things stood, Ancelotti continued with a 4-3-3 formation. Camavinga was used as a direct replacement for Casemiro. He was played in a single pivot, and it was interesting that Ancelotti handed him that role. Early in the season, we have seen Camavinga play in a double pivot alongside Cruz, and I was actually expecting that, but Ancelotti put his faith in Camavinga. He was given the task to shield the defense, and if you ask my assessment of his performance, I'd say he had a mixed bag. There were definitely some positive moments. You can see here, he was operating as a single pivot, receiving the ball from the defenders. I was also impressed to see how he was dealing with the pressing of Athletic players. He did well in tight spaces, but I also think he'll need to improve a bit on his positioning and tackling. He could have been better positioned for the goal that Athletic scored through Oyan Sensei, and Camavinga also got a yellow card after he was unable to keep up with Iker Muniain and finally ended up fouling him from behind. I'd also noticed a few rash challenges in the first half, but what we can say is that he's still 19, he's still in the development phase, and playing the role that Casemiro plays was never going to be an easy task. So I do think he did well in that regard. He still needs some fine-tuning and a little bit of polishing of his overall skills, but that being said, I'd say it was a net positive performance from Camavinga. He completed 90% of his passes and made some ball recoveries, but as I said before, we'll need to see him keep improving in his development process. And talking about the other tactical dilemma that Ancelotti had, he had to contemplate on where he was going to play Eden Hazard. If you remember the pre-match thoughts, Ancelotti had said that he was thinking about playing him in a position that Hazard is more comfortable in, but Ancelotti continued to play Hazard on the right wing. And if you ask my honest opinion, I still don't think that Hazard will nail down a starting spot with these performances. He had some nice flicks in the first half. He had made a driving run in a 3 versus 2 situation. He could have gone for goal, but he decided to pass the ball to Benzema, and this is where I think that Hazard sometimes needs to be a bit more selfish. Sometimes he needs to go for goal. He has to think about taking on the shot rather than looking to set up his teammate. He needs to be a bit more aggressive, and especially if you're playing as a forward in the starting 11, you need to chip in with a decent number of goals. So I did think it was a performance at par. He's still trying to find his feet, and still he needs to gain more confidence, but there is also the issue of putting him in the right position where he is more comfortable playing. We know he likes operating in the left-sided territories, but the problem is that both Vinicius and Benzema also like operating in similar spaces, and at this point of time, Hazard is low in the pecking order. So let's see how the season evolves for Hazard. He needs to be more assertive with his performances, and let's hope he can get his mojo back in the upcoming months. And now if we talk about the first half, we can say Real Madrid had made a sizzling start to the game. We were looking very positive. We started with a good attitude, and soon we were rewarded with 2 early goals. The first goal, we all can say it was truly down to the brilliance of Karim Benzema. It was a goal that only a naturally talented player can pull off. Vinicius made a pass to Cruz, Cruz sent it to Benzema, and Benzema already already knew what he was going to do with that. He spots the space between the defender and the keeper. He takes a one-time shot. He puts the curl, and the keeper was totally caught off guard. He didn't expect Benzema to shoot from that angle and from that distance, but that's what you get from an extremely talented player. You get the unexpected from such a natural talent, and truly it was a remarkable goal. The finishing was of the highest order, and Benzema deserves all the praise for displaying the skills of such high quality. And the second one was a result of a pass from Eden Hazard which ricocheted off the keeper and fell in the path of Benzema. Benzema got a golden chance to add to his tally, and I think we all can agree that we didn't expect Real Madrid to make such a high-flying start. We made an absolutely cracking one. It looked like Real Madrid were going to take charge of proceedings, but within the next few minutes, Oyan Sansei came up with a sublime effort. It was probably one of the only ways to get past the long reach of Thibaut Courtois, and from that point onwards, we got the game that we all had expected. Both the teams were throwing punches at each other, each had their own chances to score. I did think that we were missing what Modric brings to the table. Valverde still hasn't hit the highs of the previous campaigns. We expect him to be making more of those line-breaking runs, carrying the attack forwards with his pace, but those bursts of pace were rare. It was an average performance from the youngster, and I am hoping to see more decisiveness from the Uruguayan. So overall, it was a very important win. In the second half, the proceedings took place at a much steady rate. Athletic generated some good chances, and Real Madrid had a more conservative approach towards the end. There were some nervy moments where the defense did enough to see off the danger. I also like what I saw from Peter in the final minutes of the game. I didn't know what to expect from him, but he made some good runs on the left. He was closed down by the keeper on one occasion, and he also was able to create a chance for Jovic, who should have scored from that range. But coming back to Peter Federico, I like what I saw of him, and I am looking forward to seeing this youngster play more minutes in the matches to come. So those are my thoughts from the game, and let's conclude this video by hearing the thoughts of Carlo Ancelotti. The coach first reflected on the performance of the team as he said, "This is a huge win for us because I think we delivered a complete performance with a team which hasn't been used to much game time recently. I really have to underline the efforts of Nacho, Lucas Vazquez, Camavinga, Valverde, Hazard, who haven't been playing too much but turned up today and put a superb shift in. It was a high quality game from the vast majority and they showed great commitment. That's the most important thing for me, almost as much as the 3 points, which is ultimately what counts." Then Ancelotti was questioned about the defensive contribution of Eden Hazard and Vinicius Jr., and the coach said they understand what the team needs from them in a defensive sense. They did a great job, they worked hard and showed commitment, and they brought real quality to the attacking play, especially early on. The difference, as we've said before, is in defending. This team knows how to go forward. We can score goals because we have outstanding individuals, but we struggle a little more at the other end, but we've done a good job so far. And finally, Ancelotti gave an update on the COVID cases in the side. He said, "We had 2 or 3 players who were tested negative today. They did not have any symptoms and they will be ready. I do not know who it is, but there were 2 or 3 negative players today." So that's great to hear that the players have already started testing negative. We have a break now and the action will only return in the coming year, so we can expect many of the players to return in time, and hopefully our club will get over this COVID crisis and things will return to normality very soon. And that wraps up the post-match analysis of Athletic Bilbao versus Real Madrid. I'd also like to wish all of you a very happy Christmas. I wish you all are blessed with health and prosperity. May the holiday season bring joy to your life, and I hope you all have a fantastic time getting involved in all the festivities. Have a good one, ladies and gentlemen, and I'll see you soon. Till then, take care, glory to Madrid, and as always, Hola Madrid!